I'm really excited today because I'm going to discuss with you Sonnet 130 of William Shakespeare, popularly known by its first line, "My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun." But before I go to the poem, I would like to share with you a two-line quotation from the 17th century poet, critic, dramatist, editor, and whatnot, John Dryden. John Dryden says in his prologue to The Tempest, I quote, "But Shakespeare's magic could not copied be. Within that circle none durst walk but he." Unquote. Shall I repeat the quotation? But Shakespeare's magic could not copied be. Within that circle none durst walk but he. This is a quotation you can use while writing an essay on any aspect of Shakespeare, while annotating a passage from Shakespeare, or even while writing a note, a short note on any matter relating to Shakespeare, provided the context demands it. Sonnet 130 is a landmark in Western poetry, is a turning point in English poetry. Why it is so, how it is so, we shall see after reading the poem. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why then her breasts are dun. If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. I have seen roses damasked red and white, but no such roses see I in her cheeks. And in some perfumes is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground. And yet, by heaven, I think my love as rare as any she belied with false compare. I think that I said that Sonnet 130 is a landmark in Western literature. I would like to explain why it is and how it is so, but only after reading the first line of the poem. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. What a thunderbolt! What a thunderbolt of a line! Mistress. Mistress means regular sexual partner, especially of a man who is married. If I have a regular sexual partner and I am married, she is my Mistress, that is my wife, and this is my mistress. But the word mistress has more meanings, and these meanings were quite relevant in Shakespeare's day, perhaps more relevant then than now. Mistress was simply the feminine equivalent, the feminine counterpart of Mr. Mistress could mean a woman in authority, a woman in power, a woman with power. Mistress could just mean beloved, a sweetheart. I think that all these meanings are, at least to some extent, applicable to the word as used here. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. Poets of the medieval courtly love tradition would frequently compare the eyes of their women to the rising sun. And here is a poet who declares at the very opening of the poem, my mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. This one line demolishes a long tradition in Western poetry in which the poets used to shower their women with extravagant praise, with lavish praise. This is a tradition which goes back to Homer. In Homer's Iliad, Helen of Troy is described as white-armed, as lovely, as beautiful, and Homer informs us that Helen wears a white shawl. Thus, a long tradition in Western literature involving the use of lavish praise, extravagant praise by poets to describe the physical beauty of their heroines is overthrown by a single poem. I would even say by a single line. That is why Sonnet 130 is a landmark, is a turning point in Western poetry.